this one, me first. This life is about you. It's not about others. Two universal rules: never set anybody further back on their path and do no harm. And then Mark Pasio's eighth Hermetic principle: it's what you care about is what you focus on. So your life is about you honoring your soul's mission and path, and that you gracefully execute the things as best you can, and that you learn and grow and glean as much as you can. In order to do that, you have to be focused on just you. It doesn't mean you're not available to help. That's not it. I'm talking about truly taking care of yourself. And I'm going to go through three areas that I think are, well, four areas that I think are very important. Yoga, the man-made material, media, entertainment, sports, all that stuff. Diet, and then habits and spirituality. So I want to start at the habits and spirituality. And the reason I'm going to say that is because it's sort of the foundation. First habit you have to have is don't lie to yourself at all, ever, about anything. That's where it starts. Ask to truly grow in meditation. Learn to meditate if you don't know how to. Best way I can tell you to learn is to have something that's in the background that you can stare at, that can sort of take your vision and make it blurry, and you can start to meditate with your eyes open. And you can close them at a certain point, but with your eyes open in something in the background that's repetitive. I used to have this polka dot comfort, and it would sort of get blurry, and that's enough to keep my mind distracted, while it could be sort of an empty space from a thought process, if that makes sense. It gave the ego something to do. It gave the ego something to do. So, yes. Learn to meditate. Yeah, however that is. Start digging into things that are of interest, things that are part of spirituality that you really want to delve into. Maybe you're into energy work. I know I'm working towards that, but I'm coming at it from the whole thing. So for me, I don't know why, but it's taking a long time to get there. But I'm putting all kinds of things together. So maybe of course there's a reason for it. See how easy it is to trip yourself up? Doesn't that just tell you right there that here's the human coming in and saying, well, maybe, have you listened to these little videos that you've done? Anyway, it's sort of funny, isn't it? But whatever form your path takes, don't know if that's going to be through doing, or for me it was listening to a lot of people, a lot of audiobooks. I don't like reading a ton. I have and I did. But it's not my preferred, because I like sitting, listening to the words and not having to have my brain focus on the actual print and then translating that. I'm sure I'm missing something, but for me it works. but also there's so much information now on the YouTube. You just have to sort of do your research and find those that are really aren't sort of the new age kind of stuff. So anyway, you've got to spend time you've got to spend time from that perspective in your learning, in your growing. I like the truthful one because that just sort of cuts through everything. Habits, sorry about that. That's the one thing that extinguishes the soul on earth is addictions. And so bad habits, again, you've got to acknowledge what they are, and you have to change them and get rid of them. It is what it is. That's, again, you can't lie to yourself. So if there's anything that you knowingly, which is probably with all of us, many things. So we just have to be mindful and honest and say, does this really serve me? And accept the answer. If the answer is difficult, it's usually the right one, remember. If the answer you get after sitting it is not the one that you were hoping with, necessarily, I shouldn't say that. If there's matters of the heart, stuff like that, that's a different thing. But I'm talking about, lying to yourself about, should I go get hammered and go do this, or should I, you can't. These are things that you can't get by with. Yeah. So you have to be honest. You have to be very, very honest and truthful with yourself about everything. And then learn to, again, internalize that we're either 1 or we're 9 billion. And so that makes it difficult to judge. So anyway. So always keep sort of those things in mind. And then I would also say find some type of a practice every day that grounds you. Jenny says find a tree, and I have a tree. And I hold her branch every morning. And I have taken care of this one that's been neglected for, I can't tell you, forever. Anyway, write yourself back into nature in all ways. In all ways, yeah, write yourself back into nature. Diet. I don't even like eating out anymore. I really, that sounds terrible to say, but now fortunately when I visit my daughter in New York, there's a lot of organic choices, a lot. Well, supposed, that's always, that can be a crapshoot as well. So, that therein lies the reason, I just like eating what I make. Everything I eat is organic or fresh, and it's important to treat your temple. It just is. And once you find that you're off of processed foods, my diet from a consumption standpoint is almost like is just like an animal, because, and I'll tell you for example. So during the week, I have long days, but I'm not super active. And during the week, I'll do yoga, between Monday and Friday, probably 3 times. maybe 4. And then on the weekends, either I will go do a hike and yoga, or Mac is here, and it's a lot of Mac time. So, so there are times where I'm hungry because I've burned through calories. I don't necessarily like go eat a lot before the weekends if I have Mac. I don't really change anything. There's a bit of a delay. Sometimes comes Sunday, Monday, the Tuesday, I'll eat like crazy. Sometimes I'll eat just Monday and Tuesday like crazy. And then it tapers back off because I've sort of built up whatever reserve I went into that my body wants to build back up. And it follows a pattern of that more than anything. So does that make sense? Where yes, I'll eat, if I'm, I should say when I'm at work, if I'm wherever I'm hungry, I just eat. I will, and sometimes it's not a lot. I think that's another thing too, is that usually my meals are not big. Every once in a while I'll have something big. That's because, again, it's probably coming on the heels of being super, super, super active, and then all of a sudden something kicks in. But the rest of the time, it's just sort of to fill whatever that need is. And I've sort of talked to people about this. They've said, well, now you're losing out on opportunities to have some amazing cuisine. And I got it. I understand that I may, in a way, limit myself. But again, it's sort of getting back to being in spirit or being human. I'm more in the spirit form where I know what's better for me and I'm not missing it. Does that make sense? Because it's something that just sort of isn't on my radar as much. Now, it doesn't mean, again, that I haven't enjoyed and that I never not will again. That, not at all. Not at all. I will always enjoy something at special times or occasions. But as just my go-to, I really do things just for me. Yeah. The media and the TV and the sports. I haven't had a TV in 10 years. I've had one. I think I haven't watched it in 10 years. I would say that. Now that said, I will have watched, I don't anymore, but like Netflix on my iPad or something like that. But I don't watch any live TV. I don't watch any sports. I follow, the main bike races, the tours over in Europe, but that's about it. And I'm aware of what's going on. Does that make sense? When I need to know something, I'm told to check or get some kind of information. But whatever's going to happen is going to happen. That background noise is nothing more than to keep you distracted. That is all it is for, just to keep you distracted and in anxiety. Because remember, we live in a universe, or a reality where the negative energy is a fuel source. It's a high because we're in a fallen reality, and so that negative energy is to me, I guess, be like honey from a tree. That's their honey, I guess. I'll take mine. I love honey. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, syrup. I was saying honey. Syrup from a tree. I do. I love maple syrup. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyway, so it's all meant to keep us focused on other stuff, and to keep us anxious and to keep us at each other. I said, sports is awesome. They can get us to fight because of the color of a jersey that we're wearing. Do you see how controllable we let them make us, allow us? We allow it. Yeah, so anyway, you can do yourself a favor by turning all that off. I'll also say for the music, and I talked about this before, but music was tuned to 440 hertz. Like in the early 30s or early 40s, can't remember, by the Rockefeller Foundation. They were the pushing ones. They were also the ones that are behind all the Western medicine poison, and the education as well. So I mean, they're at the root of all of it. But they had changed the tuning from 432 hertz, which is a resonant frequency with you and me and all of us as beings, as energetic beings. Now we each have our own unique, I guess, resonance from that, but is a resonant, or I should say harmonic, maybe. I don't know how to maybe, I don't know what that is. Anyway, but that the tuning was resonant with our frequency. I mean, it was a multiples of, but it was resonant with. And they changed that ever so slightly. Well, there's a reason. That's again to make the music disharmonious with your physical being, because you listen to it with your physical ears and it goes into your physical brain. Now it ends up being electrical and becomes energy, but it's physically absorbed, I guess, or transmitted or converted, I guess. So yeah, so that's music. So maybe that's why I didn't go see Blind Melon as well. This is all about ever to listen to is Kirtan music. Yeah, it's just you should see the animals when Bubbles was here, but when Mac is here and this music is playing, you should see how at ease she is, how well she sleeps. She is so rested when she's here, and it's because it's peaceful. Well, there's no TV going on, there's no normal music, banging in the background or whatever that. I don't think that's going on where she's at her mom's house or her grandma's house. But it's not meant for us. It's not. Same with any routers in your home and all that. I don't have internet here. I have my phone on the light, not the 5G. Listen, and I put them in a Faraday cage or a case. You can find those on Amazon. They work very effectively. I tested them. So get ones that have been tested, but they're not that expensive. But no, I have a lot of the signals away from me and the distractions away from me and the man-made stuff away from me. You'll find that you'll breathe so, and probably physically, but you get this relief. Whether it's snowing and it's cold or it's hot as hell outside, it doesn't matter. So it's not the external environment that's is has to be there. No, it's just you just find that no matter where you go, no matter what it is, you adapt to it. So it's the middle of winter and you've got to go shovel your car out. You're at ease doing it. Doesn't mean it's not laborious, but you're at ease. Yeah. I'm not fixated on the man-made stuff or the man-made media. It's all meant as distraction. Okay, the last one, yoga. Boy, oh boy. What a way to connect mind, body, and spirit. What a way to be a bridge between the ether and this reality. One of the best ways. other days I've done 2 sessions just because it's so. I have a couple of routines, but the main routine I have, it provides a great deal of mindfulness, room to breathe, mindful counting, and it's done where it can be aerobic as well. Actually quite aerobic. You can get your heart rate up really well because it's effort, it's work, and so if you're working muscles, you don't have to be out pounding pavement or lifting weights. Your body's a weight, number one, but it's working muscles, and it seems for me to put me in connection in my physical form in a more sensitized form. Does that make sense? Because it feels, everything else we do is not natural. This feels natural. Does that make sense? The movements in yoga, yes, they may be difficult, but they're natural movements, meaning there's a reason, there's a purpose, there's an orientation to the energy, there's an orientation to the flow, there's an orientation to the breath. It's just everything, and so it takes time to integrate into reaching that point. But when you do, boy, I'm young, old, big, small, it doesn't matter. Everybody should be doing it. Everybody should be doing yoga. And to me, it's not something I have to go somewhere and do. I choose not to. I would rather not to. I'd rather do it on my own because it's for me. That makes sense. It gets back to the thing of, me first. It without a doubt, it's me. So I think I'm sorry, I'm not trying to dismiss classes, and I know that there's energy around all that, but most of this needs to be for you first. It really does. So yoga is just this amazing teaching that we have, but it's also, I think once you start doing it, you'll find out it's more in your inherent nature. Because I don't think it's connected to both spirit and form, if that makes sense. And that's where you feel that movement, how it's not just a movement. There's something more significant, particularly if you can close your eyes. Not all movements I can close my eyes because I tip over, so I have to be careful. But yoga is awesome. So anyway, those are the me firsts. You have to be you first. You have to support you first. You have to be truthful with yourself. That starts number one. Then you start taking care of yourself. You got to get rid of the shit, and you got to get movement. And yoga is the movement, in my opinion. Change your place, change your space, change the things in your space. Start to think about it. You'll know what's right. All this stuff is just coming to being. I would have never had any of this stuff 10 years ago. None of it. I mean, no, there's not. No, the clock. Now the clock, Zoe and I have had for a long time, and it used to sit on the floor on the rug where I used to take off your shoes. And she said, why there? I said, well, because you can see it. She goes, that's true. So the clock, no matter where I've been, has always had a unique, and so that's where it's at. I do like that. That's an old plant hanger that was here, but none of this stuff was here. Or I wasn't here, but I had none of these things 10 years ago. So change your place. That will. Yeah. If you haven't put your mindfulness into it, I hadn't. Place was just a place. You're supposed to put pictures every so often, and that's about. I mean, I wasn't as crass as that, but it didn't have much thought behind it. It was more decorating, not placing. I think that's the best way. So that's it. Peace.